Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Stefan makes the ultimate trouble against EJ to force him to play ball, and Paulina dives headfirst into the hunt for Chanel in Moments Days of Our Lives. Paulina is recovering in her sanitarium bed when Sarah enters, decked out in her defensive suit. Paulina swimmy and unfit to concentrate and lonely. That's all normal, Sarah says sympathetically, telling Paulina they'll release her as soon as they can after covering her radiation situations. So no end in sight, Paulina sighs. Sarah promises she'll be back with her family in no time, including Chanel and Johnny after getting back from the cabin. Snowstorm notwithstanding. Paulina starts to worry, however, when Sarah jokes about losing power. Paulina also gets a paraphrase of EJ's press conference from her office. She reads his reason. "Oh, so trim, so sleazy," she exclaims. "That's not how you apologize to a teenage boy." Sarah tells her to relax, her heart rate is going up. Lindsay Godfrey, Jackie Harry Days of Our Lives set NBC Workrooms Burbank 10/17/23 Copyright XJ Johnson /tvastudios.com 310-657-9661 Occasion #14836u.s.airdate 4/16/24 Off at the Horton cabin, Johnny comes back with wood. He'd to go further because the wood they had was wet. Julie asks where Chanel is. Not with him, Chanel left about 10 twinkles agone. So Johnny tries calling her, only to find her phone is in the cabin. Johnny is about to head out to look again when Paulina calls Chanel's phone. She's shocked that Johnny answers, but he makes an reason about her being in the shower. Paulina wants to know if everything's okay, and Johnny lies again. He says Chanel will call after the shower, hangs up, and leaves to find his woman. Paulina's been through enough. Julie prays tossed. Anthony, the patron saint of lost souls and lost affects. She stokes the fire and thinks back to talking to Chanel about the time capsule just before she left. Paulina calls Chanel's phone again and Julie surprises her by answering. She explains how she got stuck there, and Paulina asks where Chanel is again. Oops. Julie said the newlyweds went out to play in the snow, and must have forgotten Paulina. She'll call soon, Julie says, bye. Julie also gets on the phone with Doug saying she's trying to stay calm, but as soon as Johnny and Chanel get back and the roads are cleared, she's getting the hell out of there. Paulina calls again and Julie reluctantly answers, also puts her on mute and asks Doug for a reason about Chanel, except she no way actually put Paulina on mute. Susan Seaforth Hayes, Carson Boatman Days of Our Lives set NBC Workrooms Burbank 10/17/23 Copyright XJ Johnson /tvastudios.com 310-657-9661 Occasion #14836u.s.airdate 4/16/24 My son is missing? Paulina yells when Julie switches phones back. So Julie tells her what happened just before Johnny comes back. Alone. Where is Chanel? Julie demands, also hands Paulina off to Johnny. He didn't find Chanel, but she's only been missing perhaps 40 twinkles. He'll find her if he has to search the whole islet. You more. Paulina yells and hangs up. She also calls her office and demands to be connected to the Salem Public Works. Ava and Harris, meanwhile, are busy moving her out of Wendy and Tripp's place and into Harris. She's glad to get out of there, especially with Clyde still around. She doesn't want them in the line of fire. Harris has been trying to track Clyde, but no luck. But, he says, he's surely undervaluing who he's dealing with. Both of them. Neither of them will let Clyde hurt the other. Ava also wonders how she'll find that book. Harris reassures her that they re-in it together. They'll find the book, give it to Clyde, and take his burrow down. Steve Burton, Tamara Braun, Days of Our Lives, set NBC Workrooms Burbank 10/31/23, copyright XJ Johnson, /tfastudios.com, 310-657-9661 occasion, hashtag 14836u.s. Airdate 4/16/24, in the Horton Square. Nicole takes EJ to task for his half-hearted reason to Tate and his family. Is EJ indeed sorry for what he did or just embarrassed? EJ said he's too busy to worry about this, what with the Stefan hail and all. He's got to run and he has no time or interest in dealing with the press. Just also, Chad and Xander show up, publicizing the press is there. Hope you re-empty, bro, because you about to eat some crow, Chad tells him. They lay into him for starting a press conference before the press showed up. Xander wants to know what they missed and if he apologized. EJ says he did all of that, just as Nicole walks down. Chad follows her to ask why EJ started the press conference beforehand. Nicole doesn't know, she didn't show up until the end. But she doesn't want to talk about it anyway. Chad asks how Holly's doing and he hopes all is going well. He also asks about Nicole and she admits she's at a crossroads and now she doesn't know what to do with herself. She allowed. She'd be raising her little boy. Xander, meanwhile, asks if Tate's family was satisfied. EJ shrugs sure. Also Xander asks if there's been anything further on who shot Harris and who tried framing him. Harris and Ava walk by after EJ's lackluster response and Xander asks him, only to be told any statement has to come through Rafe. So Xander turns back to ask EJ about Clyde Weston. At that point, Ava and Harris slip down uncomfortably to tale about Clyde and Xander in front of the Salem Inn. Ava hates all the trouble she got Harris in. Brandon Barish, Ariane Zucker, Dan Feuerigel, Paul Telfer, Billy Flynn. Days of Our Lives, set NBC Workrooms Burbank 10/31/23, copyright XJ Johnson /tfastudios.com, 310-657-9661 occasion, hashtag 14836u.s. Airdate 4/16/24. Back with EJ. Chad asks about Stefan's plea deal and notes that since they re-family, that might be a conflict of interest. Just like you questioning me, EJ asks. But since he asked, Stefan had a hail this morning and EJ's confident he'll serve the time he needs once the outgrowth is decided. Actually, Stefan says walking up. I formerly have. EJ wants to know how the hell that happened, and Stefan says the judge agreed to time served. He's free. EJ runs off, and Xander says he needs to be nearly, leaving Chad to question his family. Chad demands to know how Stefan wormed his way out of captivity, and Nicole jumps in, you son of a wine. Start talking now. Stefan helped put the medicines on the road that nearly killed Holly. They all family, how could he do that? Brandon Barish, Ariane Zucker. Days of Our Lives, set NBC Workrooms Burbank 10/31/23, copyright XJ Johnson /tfastudios.com, 310-657-9661 occasion, hashtag 14836u.s. Airdate 4/16/24. Stefan says he no way meant for anyone to get hurt. He only let the medicines get picked up under trouble of detriment to Gabby. I'm so sorry. But Nicole isn't having it. He should apologize to Holly, but he wouldn't because she doesn't want him anywhere near her son. EJ, meanwhile, comes upon Harris and Ava and they defy him about letting Stefan go. They blast at each other.